Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC, joining again for another React video. This is from MLP Season 9, Episodes 1 and 2, the premiere. The last season.
Oh, it's a Halloween feeling for sure.
Alright, next I might as well go with the introductions. A herd of bronies?
Hello all you ponies, I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome to the beginning of the end. I just got a new microphone.
Ooh, cool.
What kind did you get?
Blue Yeti.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
It's a popular choice. Alright, next up, Carlos.
Hello there, everybody. This is Gunmetal Gator here saying, we've come such a long way with my friends, and I'll tell you all about it when we see each other again. And I'm taking the long, hard-fought road, going all the way back to a show without bones. It's that feeling, somber, melancholy. The show is going to end.
Alright, that said, normally I would introduce Jenn, but she's not available right now. So, next up, Day Lover.
hey everybody, Day Lover, and even though we're ending, we're not going to end with everything else. So moving on and keeping positive on this end. And we do have other things than My Little Pony as well, so we're going to be fine. Yay! Next.
Yeah, not a lot of Netflix things.
Yeah.
I think one reviewer, this is a random topic, but yeah, one reviewer mode, like a lot of the old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, like 80s and 90s action cartoons, like with a long ongoing narrative. It's more or less the TV channels have been doing that, but Netflix has been doing a lot of that. So, okay then.
Yeah. And a remake of all of your childhood movies and stuff like that. What more could you want?
Next up, second.
La 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 la. Oh, wait a minute, that wasn't the right song here. Oh, never mind. All right, one more season. I don't know. Should I go with the nostalgic, reminiscing veteran approach, or should I go with like eviler than ever, going to take old Yeller behind the barn and shoot him approach, even though they didn't shoot old Yeller behind a barn?
Well, you never know that.
Never know what.
That they didn't shoot it. They could have put in over dog.
Well, I know because they've seen the movie. There's not a... He got shot in a corn storage place, not a barn.
Yeah, I know.
All right. For realsies. From a critic first and a fan second, here's the second opinion one last time. Times 26. Or technically 25, since 24. Yeah. Since there's always a couple of two-parters. So all right then.
I hope that we were going to continue even after.
Well, we'll have to find something else to react to. But all
of course, we still have Star and we still have other things as well.
Star's
ending this season too.
Yeah, Star is actually ending sooner. It's going to end in May.
Oh, we just have to figure out something else. Maybe we can watch those. What was it? The DuckTales together or something.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, Disney Channel has a whole bunch of new cartoons coming up, like and also currently airing like DuckTales. And there's a whole bunch of Netflix shows, which like I was just saying. All right.
Yep.
Gentlemen, lady who's not here, it's been an honor. Let's do it again.
All right. Is everyone ready to watch MLP? Your Daily Motion links up?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Yay. Oh, Twilight running from something.
Twilight.
running to something.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Pinky.
Think it is the audio mono or stereo.
Well, as long as you hear
That
it
thing
right
that was
now.
in the trailer?
It might only be mono on the stream. Whoa, that was dizzying.
Wow.
Ouch. Now watch.
Mhm. Super dizzy times. Oh man.
Oh.
Yuck.
Okay.
Urgent.
Yeah, maybe they could have wrote in the little that it was fine.
Yeah, we haven't been attacked in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Spike playing a modesty card in quotation marks.
That sounded so much more dark to me. Dizzy.
What? Retirement?
Oh,
And this card is there.
It's like, oh, I get to be next in line. Am I right or not?
No. Twilight, yeah.
Going.
Oh.
Boy, you hear that? It's all
Oh,
because
wait.
of you, ponies. Your special friendship is just so special that nobody's
Let's see if they
better for the job.
Let's see if they change the intro this time.
My Little Pony. You take it with me.
Okay, so we're probably still doing the friendship school.
Yeah.
Well,
There were some small changes.
oh look, the
but
baby
that
now.
wasn't-
Or is that last time? I
Yay,
can't remember.
Flurry! Woo!
Really.
It was in last time.
Yeah.
So,
I love that
It's called
face on
abdicate.
Twilight.
yeah. You know, before we die and everything.
All of the meme faces.
Joanna Lunas and Christine Sanko.
Hey, they're back, huh?
Man.
Mm.
Wait.
They're a
Oh,
pretty good
God.
duo, right?
Mhm.
Not bad. I mean, they're including you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is absolutely
everyone's
nothing.
fine?
We don't even have to fill you in.
No, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Rainbow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
I'm really
ready?
curious what their roles are going to be.
But the
Yeah.
burden of
Yeah, I don't know if they
responsibility
can have
for the
careers
prosecution.
after this outside of ruling all of Equestria.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
So
it's
the
gonna be
school
like-
have to have other
This is not like the
teachers.
Fall of Equestria fanfics in which, like, oh, they can do that along with the ministries.
Mm. Yay.
I don't know, maybe it'll be like they'll have to translate it into what you do around the castle, like being a Wonderbolt will become castle guards.
Maybe. Face.
Yeah. You know?
I love that book. That's nice. Oh.
Damn, that's nice.
Nervous. Yeah. Loop that face, make it into a GIF. Mm. Had Discord laying on the table.
Oh man, this quiz is tired of the tropes as much as the audience is.
Mm. Look at Applejack. She's just like, take it easy, Twilight. Come on.
Aqua.
H2O. Quality H2O.
Everyone.
Twilighting.
And the promo. Yep.
Mm.
Pinky had to be the one to create it instead of the Brony fandom.
Mm. Oh,
Oh my
Fluttershy.
god, even Fluttershy is like, I know, but these panic attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
The writers have been listening to the fans.
Breaking the fourth wall is a Pinkie Pie stick, isn't it?
Okay.
That's a good joke.
Mm.
Eh,
Okay.
Okay, still, that was a fan
Yeah, Starlight.
jab. Like, the fact that you're...
I was talking like I still count that future from like Starlight's plan as an actual warning sign.
Mm. Oh, Spike is right. Oh, Queen
Back
Chrysalis. Queen Chrysalis.
Oh, finally. Chrysalis.
Okay.
Oh no.
Ah.
Okay.
Well,
Play with logs.
Chrysalis has
with
gone nutty
logs.
nuts.
mm.
Whoa, she's vanished into the ether.
And
Not
Cozy
to
Glow
Jason
and T-Rex. Yeah,
Is this gonna be the Sinister Six
maybe.
Pony edition?
Wait.
I mean,
Or the 7 deadly sins that I predicted.
What the heck is that?
oh. Oh, God.
Yeah,
This is
what's
what it
happening?
takes to break people out of Tartarus.
No, somebody's
Oh my
doing
God,
some
Summoning
magic.
Circle.
Oh, wait, is it the
Summoning
Pony of
Circle.
Shadows?
Oh, bro.
Yay!
My favorite Umbrum.
Oh. Oh, he's summoning all of them there.
Ooh. All the remaining villains.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, well.
Again.
They're coming out of the gate pretty fast.
Cozy Glow hiding behind
Cozy
T-Rex.
doesn't really have like this tree.
And there's the orb glowing in the background, or a big eye.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
goat eye.
Oh,
okay,
that's
so
actually
Sombra
pretty
can
cool.
just do
Come on.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my
They
god.
did
I'm
it.
laughing.
That was awesome. Come on. What?
Oh, it's him.
Oh, no
What's
way.
his name?
Grogar!
Grogar!
Grogar.
And some
What?
shadow animation.
Krogar.
Oh,
Maybe
boy.
from the
Okay,
first
I
series.
appreciate. Yes, first series. One of the big bads from the original series.
Oh, wow. So now
Oh my
there are
God, Sombra's
5.
speaking.
So.
I can't handle this. My heart. Oh my.
All right. We have a Sinister Six. Except it's 5.
Uh-huh.
I think it's more
This,
of a Legion of Doom.
Yeah, the scapegoat is
Doom.
going to
Oh
come
my God,
after
it is
you.
a Legion of Doom.
Scapegoats.
Although,
Mhm.
it would have fit, like, what they, or at least, yeah, it probably would have fit if
Oh,
it had been
wow.
the Pony of Shadows, because
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
okay, they're
like, the fact
eating
that he brought
about
back
He's
power.
back.
Dang,
Uh,
that's a
Oh,
lot of power right
bringing
there.
back muscle.
Remember how much power that he had to suck from the ponies to get at that point?
well, he's like at his midpoint.
Oh yeah, that's true. The bigger one is bigger, yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that Muscle Tyrek is not Brain Dead Tyrek.
Oh, Sombra's
Yeah.
new voice.
Oh God,
Ew.
it's so weird. It's so weird.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Huh.
Rusty?
So G1 actually
Okay.
happened on some level?
Yeah, maybe. And that's now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do tell. Yeah, cheat. What? Yeah, luck. Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, he is onto something, yeah.
And so every brony stream of the final season having this sort of premise actually comes true.
Yeah,
Who knew?
including me. Although I thought there were going to be 7, but yeah. Oh, come on, Sandra.
Oh God, man. Well, this is really not the Sandra you would envision from the comics at all. Like, seriously. Too much of a show off, if you ask me. The red cartoony eye.
Well, he is onto
Dungeon?
something, yeah.
It's like so...
Okay, yeah. They're putting him out of.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Oh, Kofi, you warming your way.
Glim Glam is still around.
Like, I know you today. Meanwhile, Starlight is like, oh, if I was so cool, I
Yeah,
would have been like the
panicking
main
Twilight for the win.
I'm gonna need to assign a new principal to this school.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be you,
A
Starlight.
new scripter, yeah. Need to have somebody to take your notes for you, Twilight. What about both?
Starlight! Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Excuse me, princess. That was funny.
Pinky made it a meme. The meme
Yeah.
has spread all over.
Twilight, you have a problem, and it needs to be addressed. It's called Flanderization.
And mean facing.
Yeah, this is actually exactly where I expected it was going.
Ooh, she's starlighting.
Oh, God. You're
Yeah.
acting. She's doing such a good job acting.
That's cute.
Oh, never mind. It's not acting. Good voice acting performance there.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
See, I'm more important than you are.
Yeah.
Yes, Starlight. Go into that reverse psychology.
Yeah. That's great. Oh,
It was a
no.
valiant
Here we
effort,
go.
but all of it was
Here
in
we
vain.
go.
And now back into the Crystal
Sombra
Empire, aka
is
the
going
city
to-
of nothing.
So we're doing a straight up fight
Yes.
scene?
It's time. Oh my God.
Oh.
He's not gonna.
Well,
I might
Confident
control
guards.
you.
Yes, finally.
Oh,
Yeah!
confident
they
guy.
missed and then they got blown away.
Ooh.
And now they're taking over. Oh, that's
My
not good.
helmets of power.
Helmets of
It's
power.
time for the alternate timeline
Oh, that
to come
looks
true.
nice.
Sombra's
On
still a
black
pretty
crystals and
visually
everything. Writing
impressive
stuff.
enemy.
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh,
Oh my
Sombra,
God.
I feel so sorry for you.
Oh my God.
oh, you're
When someone
taking
says you
Fleur?
won't get away with this, usually happens is you will get away with this.
Oh, really? Oh my
Oh
God.
my. He's being such a ham.
What?
Oh, that's so
That was
dark.
easy.
Okay, they
That's
can
kind
still
of
use their
really
horns
dark.
with masks on.
Well,
Was it really that
Don't-
easy?
like
Yeah, it's a
they're
crystal
afraid of
empire.
Flurry being.
What happened to the protection?
Well, the thing is, like,
Well,
you basically they captured Flurry Heart, so Shining and more specifically
Yeah.
Cadence can really do anything.
No.
Dang.
It's a device known as we didn't feel like expanding on that part. It happened. Get over it. Same one they used in that To Wear and Back Again finale.
Mm.
You know, to put the
Well,
changelings in control of
I don't
everything.
think if you're the parents in that situation, I don't think you had a choice either. She is
Yeah.
still a baby.
But if you're the
girl.
writers in that situation, I think you had a choice on, like, what happened when he tried to storm the castle, what you have to get to the chambers of the freaking princess.
Well, he
Yeah.
overtook all of
course.
the guards and stuff like that. So
We saw him
Oh.
overtake a handful of guards.
wow. Oh, Discord, that was dark.
Evil. Wow. Wow.
Evil Twilight. Okay.
Discord scared of Sombra, really?
No, I just think he doesn't want to do any
Huh.
work.
No, yeah. He's just lazy, yeah.
Pull the elements of harmony from the tree again?
Oh, maybe. Oh, that's true.
See you when lives are in danger. Really. Although, taking the elements back in hindsight, being able to do that is more plot holy than you'd realize, because it's like, why couldn't they just do that when Tyrek was taking over?
Because they're not there. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing
great.
changed.
Now
They
the
were in the
tree's
tree then,
vulnerable.
they're in the tree now.
Oh, they still had to get the rainbow power from the egg or the box. Sorry. Oh,
Okay.
nice.
The girls like
Oh,
the cavalry is
okay.
here taking that from.
He doesn't seem worried about that, though.
Well, I mean, they didn't use the element of harmony against Sombra.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why you want to start firing things up before that happens.
Okay.
Yeah. This is dark.
You're about to see. Oh no! It's all that concentrated
Oh,
magic
jeez.
on everyone. Oh my
That
God.
looks amazing.
Don't succumb to your darkest fears, Twilight.
No,
Except
yeah.
for friendship.
Oh, yeah.
The friendship link connects us all.
Yeah.
Spike actually did something.
What? Oh my
Spike
God!
did something.
Spike took a rescue! Spike! You did it, man! You saved us from Crystal Empire.
Oh, wow.
How
Okay.
many times? How many?
Wow.
It's been
Okay,
three.
that is
Three
kind of
times.
going a little fast here.
Wait, yeah. Save Crystal Empire 3 times. Spike's here again.
Oh, wow. Again.
Okay, now you're supposed to
Dang.
be finished when they do that.
Theoretical laser beam to
Alright.
rescue.
Fun 1-2 punch, even though I'm not sure why you opted for that. The more complex
Oh,
approach.
Cadence is just like
that was cute.
angry mom mode. Well, I mean, like you had the plot MacGuffins on you.
Now, Pinky, oh my god.
She told me her name was Pinky Jean. So what's going to happen to the elements?
Remember
Yeah,
that time?
okay.
Put them
That's-
on the place again, yeah.
Okay, so you know something like the tree getting destroyed has got to happen, or
Yeah, something's going to happen because there's another part to this episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
well, that and the fact
There
that
it
they're
is.
building up how much
you
they
see
need the
6,
tree
Oh.
and
I
the
see
elements and
4.
Sombra.
How did he do that?
Okay, so he can
Maybe
just
he has-
survive this, and then he can just do that.
Oh,
Dang.
Crystal.
You think you can destroy the elements when the spirits of them are alive right here?
Wow, okay.
Oh wait,
That's
it wouldn't
interesting.
be a wait. Nothing this bad ever happened before episode. If that were the case, never mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
all right.
So
Are
we
y'all
just-
ready for the next part?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, get the next link up.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
This is literally gonna be like a trip and a half. I already have thoughts.
Mm.
Yeah, they're not slowing. They're like going full steam ahead with this
Oh
opener.
yeah, that's really it's really fast, yeah.
No, it's really appreciable, yeah,
Yeah.
that they're willing to just go for stuff like all things now that they have nothing to prepare for later. That's an
Mommy,
edge
¿te
this
está
season
cocinando?
definitely is going to have.
Yeah.
Should they choose to use it?
Mm. Mhm.
Let's
So, but
see.
Sandra can just get hit by the elements of harmony and basically be okay. That's almost
I
changing
think,
the
like,
rules on how they work.
I think he used his what is that, shadowy magic to make
Shadow clone.
maybe a clone, yeah.
Eh.
I don't know.
C'est possible.
Yeah, I
Like, he
feel-
planned this out in advance. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
true, we don't actually know anything about Show Sombra, whether he's clever or strategic, anything like that.
Well, he have been making traps before, so yeah.
But they'd still better give some kind of an explanation. No explanation is the, this is what we want to happen, so it does approach.
Mm. Well, next episode.
Oh,
I'm ready.
we're waiting for Carlos to come back.
Oh,
Sound like
yay.
good things. So, because a few minutes to discuss this episode so far, and so far, I think this has fallen into what I was my theory and hopes were that, yeah, they're not going to sort of like waste any flack for. They're not going to like fluff that much fluff this season. They're going full steam ahead because it's the last.
Yeah. Although I am like, I think I will have my issues though if it's all the events we know you fans want to see happen and not the character progression that is going to make this a great send-off finale. Like Twilight, I mean, it's almost kind of odd watching them try to push her back into the center of this and make a story driven by her character after she's been out of that role for so long. She definitely comes across as much more Flanderized than the last time we saw that, and I don't know, it's like they're kind of trying to pick up threads and retie them together.
Wow. What's happening there?
You ready, Carlos?
Ready? I'm so ready.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Let's do this.
let's also mention about Talkative Sombra being the complete opposite.
Yeah,
of the
I like
premiere.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, it's like sort of like trying to make Gabaru out of Sombra, which is just like only Derek or Ninja DC would get the joke.
Yeah, I get it. They also have he's more, I guess, floral or like
Hammy.
not really. I would say hammy, but like royal, I guess, or
Regal,
Yeah.
aristocratic.
regal. Yeah, regal and aristocrat. That's a good way to describe it. Like everyone, I think, I was expecting him to have a more rough voice, but he's like more regal and
He's basically
high pitched.
He's basically the evil, like actual evil version of like Prince Blue Blood.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Prince
pretty much.
Blood.
All right. With that said, are you all ready for?
So
Are you
far,
already-
this part here being good.
Yes.
Are you all ready for part
Yeah.
2?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay.
Previously
Pony.
Previously,
Yay.
the most epic finale to begin. No, wait, this is not a finale. Wait, why is this happening at the beginning of the season? Yet all these elements are happening. Oh.
It still looks like an eye from
Sauron.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, but at this point it looks like the plot we're going with is okay, one of the villains takes a shot at it, and so Grogar can then at the end say, "Now will you go along with me?"
Yeah, maybe.
It's like,
Dang.
so yeah. I guess you could call it, yeah, the appetizer that has nothing to do with anything but is tasty kind of an episode.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
It was kind of like the. It wasn't like the somber return that I envisioned. Then again, the comic spoiled me.
Well, okay, the elements being
good writing.
destroyed, though, then again, that's what's going to have something to do with anything.
Mm.
Love that evil laughter, though.
Hey guys, don't you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, if it was that
Oh.
easy,
Yeah.
Oh wait. But
Okay.
when
So they
Chrysalis
just couldn't
told you-
find it. That's why they didn't destroy it before.
But Chrysalis knows that.
Mm.
the spirits of the elements are right here. Like, come on, it worked before,
Oh,
seriously.
Twilight, don't be in depression.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah, Twilight.
actual pony combat.
Twilight focus. No, yeah.
You got alicorn magic.
Use
on your
that
side
alicorn
this
magic.
time.
Oh, dang.
Dang
The
it.
crystals is really.
Well, so Sob was a small time big bad, so he was all.
But
like,
remember,
oh,
there's other than the main six, though. There's still
Don't
Celestial in
say
the
that.
middle.
Oh, let's go and grab you. But you just create your inevitable defeat.
Oh, really?
Not-
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm losing my favoritism with this character now.
Aw.
What?
I still think he's kind of cool.
And
The tree's supposed to be a little more powerful than that, though.
I have a feeling the tree is sort of somehow like it's like sort of allowing this to happen, sort of so they learn a lesson, sort of thing. That makes sense.
Ooh.
wow.
It's getting real now.
Aw. Wait, Spike's not with you? Dang it.
What are you doing?
You had to dirty my father's hat.
Digging
Yes,
out.
Twilight. Digging under it.
Ooh, Twilight. You
Come
gotta
shit.
pierce the heavens with your
Now
drill.
they're thinking
all right?
smart.
Mm.
Dig,
Finally.
dig.
Eh.
Drill, Pinky. Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Go!
Yeah.
Go, everyone.
Go, 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 yeah.
Oh, now we're getting background from like the the season 4 finale.
Oh,
Like
wow,
that Jerry
yeah.
Sky.
He already been there.
Well, everyone's already mind controlled,
Oh,
and everyone's
that's
in a constant
depressing.
fear state.
Why is their magic not really working?
Twilight, what are you doing? Oh, wow.
God, I can't.
Mm.
Oh my God. Oh.
Wow.
Oh my God. It's gonna be
Wait a
war.
second. I wonder if this is all an illusion in Twilight's head.
Or maybe.
Or, you know, the princesses did that to test her or some such.
Oh my
No, like,
Probably
'cause
not.
remember, no, remember in the first episode, Somber was like doing their worst fears. I wonder if this
Yeah.
would be like
Yeah.
it was a dream thing.
Okay.
And Verdi would be right there with you with like.
The solution is to lift the spirits.
Exactly. Like
Exactly.
you were
Yeah, DC might be onto something actually if she keeps saying that.
Yeah.
The plunder seeds.
Yes, finally,
Plunder
Oh,
seeds
wow.
coming back.
it's actually happening this time.
Oh my
Not like
god.
in season 4.
Hmm.
Such
What are
catharsis.
you doing, Rainbow?
Getting some cleaning materials.
Yeah.
Let's get a spade. Let's get a rake, and let's get a. Ooh.
Okay.
Go with a rally battlefront. We have
That is not an
civilians.
intimidating army.
Definitely no.
Yeah, it
Remind
is.
Okay,
you of
princesses,
someone?
prepare to do nothing.
You
Yeah,
need to
Big Mac
have
can do
replacement horns. Well, Big Mac is able to be a barrier, like
Yeah.
a bearing ram.
A wall breaker.
Huh. Well, they went to retirement, but
Oh, so they're gonna give them a noble loss, like a. No, we're kind of powerful. We stood up to him for a minute.
oh, this again.
Of course, this again. This was a long-term consequence
Yeah.
about the Tree of Harmony.
Summon some animals or something.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Go, Applejack. You're really showing off in this spot.
Yeah.
I think it's a redemption for like season 4's premiere for her, which means that
Yeah.
I don't. Which means I have
You
nothing.
might want to
to
get to the source of the problem. Oh, okay.
Oh,
They're
there
doing
we go.
something.
They're doing something
something.
again with this time. But this time for actual stuff.
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, let's die!
The killers.
Let's die! The Force.
Okay.
I have so much Force metaphors. Oh my god. This is just amazing.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Time for OP
Wow.
Star Swirl Magic!
Oh,
Yes! Yes! Parody. Yes! It's like
wow.
mentorships. It's like the mentorship cycling over to be the 80. They just not realize that? I thought they actively knew that decision.
Mm-hmm. One problem
God.
down.
One problem
100
with
to
multiple
go.
God.
Wow.
Oh my god, sassy.
Yeah.
I hate it when ponies
And
are
the wor-
evilly.
The worst thing is, like, they can't do anything against them because they're their friends.
This is literally a Powerpuff Girls episode with him
I
as
remember
the
that.
Yeah.
antagonist. Jesus. Oh god.
Anti-air.
Oh my god. With their mind control, they now become laser ponies. Run.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have any crafty spells here?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sombra's just
Here
going to
comes
send them
the
out to
ponies of
fight
Canterlot
against
now.
Julia. Oh, really?
Fancy pants, no! Oh my god, no dancer!
Yeah.
No dancer! I'm so
Oh,
sorry!
okay. Interesting.
Now it's time to deal with the wonderful. Oh wait, no, just the Royal Guards.
Playing catch up.
You're too slow. You're too slow.
Yeah.
Come on, you two.
Straight out of yep.
Yeah.
Of course, the
Looney
collision
Tunes.
tactics.
Yeah, but here
But now you
comes
have
the
to deal with your
wonderful stuff.
idols.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Of course you can.
Teleport.
Yes, you can. Transport. Transport. Yep.
Yeah.
Sombra's kind of the core of the problem.
Mm.
That's a good idea.
He's right in front
Wow.
of
Yeah. Oh, Discord. Hello.
Okay, Discord.
To the pickle.
Oh god, don't remind me. of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I gotta try that.
I'm gonna check on
Yeah.
Okay,
He
is
needs to be a
Discord,
bit more
is he being a good
like-
friend right now, or is he trying to bribe his way into head honcho role?
Mm.
time. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Don't be.
Well, okay.
Oh,
So if it's not going to be that, then
Spider-Man!
presumably, what is it?
Oh, ice cream. I want to be that pony. Aw.
Oh, and it's
Why
like,
did
Wait, is he going
yeah.
to get rid of himself to make that happen?
Yeah, maybe. What he's doing, like planting more crystals? Why though?
okay. Oh my god. This is literally what the show complains about. Like, oh, why not use the Discord button? This is why.
Mhm.
We have Exhibit A now. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Oh no! Yeah.
and now
shouldn't
Discord
have
doing
done
like,
that.
I
He's
sacrificed
dead.
myself in order for you guys to move.
Well, he's hit with dark power, so what's going to happen now?
Couldn't he have just snapped it away?
Oh,
Well, he was trying to protect Fluttershy, so
Yeah, well, he could have did what he did to the
Well-
last 10 beams.
well maybe he didn't.
Please
think
don't,
about
please
that.
don't.
don't do the
Aw.
fake out.
No.
Look at those tears. Eat it, Celestia Cord Shipper.
Mm-hmm.
You must go on without me. Guys,
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Sombra. Yeah. Mm.
that's a questionable biggie, but yeah.
Aw. Oh, that's sweet.
Super encouragement.
Sombra was patient.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, are you hamming up a perfect soul performance right now, Sombra? That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Time for the fear.
Gutsy. And you're never gonna keep us down.
We're gonna be Spider-Man, y'all. No matter how many times we go down, we go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Go! Laser
Wow.
beams!
Oh.
For the trailer.
For the
Yeah.
trailer which never existed!
He's having a nervous breakdown. Aw.
Yeah.
I can relate, Sombra. Oh! We're going for like celestial hair mode now.
Mm.
And our magic is not bound by any sort of Deus Ex Machina plot device. Except for
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Well, we saw a skin rip. That was
Okay.
graphic as ponies can get.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Hey!
Nice. This
And
card,
she's
come on.
faking the sickness again. You haven't even learned from Teresa Crowd.
I faked Gazuntuf if I sneeze.
Well, I mean, that's good advice and all, but
Oh.
Eh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a test.
No, it wasn't a test, it was just them being dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Discourse righteousness.
Oh, yeah, this card. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, here it goes.
I love the reaction.
Here we go.
Like, seriously, don't you realize it?
Yeah.
God. So, oh,
Oh.
this card. You had the heart in the right place. Yes, he can, but he wanted you to have the courage.
Mm.
He doesn't want you to depend.
Mm.
Ah.
Funny callback to season 2. Aww.
That's nice.
Well, you guys are mostly about offensive magic.
Mm. No.
Everybody got one line there?
Yep.
Good.
Mm-hmm. We will.
No.
And tying it back to the movie.
Sweet.
Meanwhile, in the Citadel of Doom. Oh my god. Girl, God, is displeased. Look at this.
Yeah.
Even without the elements completely eradicated. Oh, man.
Okay, so now there are 4.
Oh my god, they're so awkward about this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, so it is gonna be a season-long thing. Good.
Yeah.
Listen,
Unless they put it aside until the finale, which I really, really hope not. But
I mean, this is
Yeah.
the final season. I mean,
Just-
you have no excuse.
I just
Like,
want
you
to
would make-
say, from the synopsises we know of, it's at least going to be touched upon within the next few episodes.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for them to gun for it at this point. It really does. Like, yeah, I think the closest any season came to not putting aside its season-long conflict, except for the fringes, the barest fringes, was season 4, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was So no, see, it was relevant. These conflicts that were related to the elements in some way.
Yeah.
Not that that didn't
But,
work for what it was. I like season 4 a lot, but yeah, like that's. I hope that's not too much of a hint at what we can expect from this one.
No. Hopefully, we don't get like the season 4 problem of like, oh, we're not going to touch upon Twilight being an Alcorn at all until season 5 and the beginning.
Actually, if you think about season 4, she has kind of a background arc there almost. It, like, yeah, she's after Equestria Girls and Princess Twilight. It's like, okay, I think I'm just. I think I might just be able to get behind this after all, and then by the season finale, she's done what anyone who deserves to be in the role they're in would do after that amount of time. Like, okay, wait, I was preparing myself for so much, and this is it. Like, and yeah, that just before she actually does run into the full extent of what it's all going to amount to.
I don't think like Twilight will ever be fully ready for it, but it's bound to happen sometime.
Yeah, it's
well, I meant for when she took her Princess of Friendship role.
I mean, it was kind of sort of like I don't even remember like how was it like.
Well, like she was doing stuff in the background and whatnot. Well, not in the background, but I mean, she had like, little princess duties, and then after running that for a while, then we saw her like in Tradia and in the episode that was it wasn't Twilight Time, just stuff like that, and then finally she got to the point where she's like, wait, is this really it? Like,
Well, yeah. But I like these episodes. I think it's a nice beginning to the end, or how to say that.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the best. I think this is my favorite opener since possibly season 2.
Return of Harmony. I mean, okay, let's see. The only ones that could easily compete with this would be the Cutie Map, and that's really it.
Cutie Map.
The openers have not been that strong, so
I know. That's why.
Depends on which one you ask for me. Like Cutie Map, for example, is not my second or third place by any stretch, but I don't know. This one, I might actually need a minute to think of how I'm going to say what I gotta say.
I mean, like, the premieres is like the first episode, Return of Harmony. Then we got ourselves like the Crystal Empire, follow that up with Princess Charlotte Sparkle. Then we got the Cutie Map, follow that up with the princess birth episode. And then follow that up with like Celestial Advice. Then we get the school days, and now we're here at beginning of the end.
Yeah, I really think it's something for itself. Like, I don't think it looks like any of the other openers that we had.
I'm just gonna say it. My favorite opener is the very first episode.
That's fine. That's
Oh,
fine.
nostalgic is the first episode.
That's why I said like this is my favorite opener since season 2 because I felt the strongest opener so far up until now have been season 1 and season 2's opener, where season 1 set the tone for the whole like franchise, and then season 2, well, Discord.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean, and I do agree, like up to a point that that's well, at least for making informed statements on this one, the thing to do is not to compare, but
No.
or at least quality wise. But as far as what is in store for us, I kind of think like if you look at the very first episode, the whole okay, come together, realize we have this bond, save Equestria episode. The difference between that and this really do kind of spotlight how the show has changed here. Because I mean, I was joking about it before, but yeah, if you remember, Nightmare Moon destroys the elements in that episode too, and okay, the solution ends up being, you thought you could destroy the elements. What? No, we have to realize that it's not about some magic devices. It's about the ponies powering them. Like when you have a bond, like we have, you can use stuff like that in really powerful ways. Like you have the ability to create something powerful. And now, the solution this time, well, we don't need them because when you have a bond like we have, you simply are that powerful. You just are.
Yeah,
like,
I just want to go off of that. It's like this. I think this opener finally proved one thing: that friendship really is magic, as in quite literally.
Like they're their own Deus Ex Machina.
They are their own Deus Ex.
Yeah, like how it's transitioned over time from, just like the wonderful things that can come from friendship and such to, to the Yu-Gi-Oh-esque, believing in friendship, believing in good things and being nice just makes you special. Like it just is that wonderful because wish fulfillment. And I mean, I don't even know if that is what was intended to the extent that anything was intended. Like maybe they did just want to say like, no, the elements are still created by the ponies wielding them, but or some such. But I mean, it sure falls right in line with where the friendship itself is what is powerful and why like just being friends means you deserve to be rewarded as though you've made all of these incredible accomplishments instead of the accomplishments are made possible because of the friendship, and then actually doing them is what deserves to be rewarded.
Well, I just want to go off of that. This also, I feel, better explains what the elements of harmony were, because it was established like the elements of harmony were spawned from the Tree of Harmony, and that was made by like all the elders of Equestria and like their bonds and all that. But this sort of helps establish like there's basically a physical form of like their friendship that was a sort of grave root. So it makes sense now that like basically the main six don't really need that anymore because their bonds are strong enough where like they just do it on their own. So it just sort of, I felt it helps better clarify exactly what the elements were. It was like a very strong bonds of friendship that was just basically made manifest.
Yeah, so being sort of, weaponized.
Like not weaponized, but just like made physical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
which that justified because before it felt weird, like all these not really greatest people, but like these good, but like not really like legendary figures were like it's like, oh yeah, they just gave root to the tree. And I was like, oh, that's sort of lame. It's like, no, it makes sense. It was their friendship is basically made physical, and then like that was just used basically as a summoning thing to help with friendship sort of thing.
But you want to know something like this episode reminds me of? A lot about the Crystal Empire, and that put me to think. Because again, Celestia drops the ball like, oh, I'm gonna make this like a test, or like, oh, I suddenly doing this whole retirement thing, and then I'm just gonna like sort of like revoke the thing at the end.
Well, I felt this one at least is more justified in the sense that like he's like at the end of it, he's like, oh yeah, maybe this was a bad idea. Where before it was like all according to plan.
Okay.
It's like, now it's like, oh no, yeah, this thrusting all this on you at once is really a really bad idea. So we'll just give it to you, like work it over time.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that happens sometimes. It kind of stands out, though, that the reason that we don't get much more of a reason that they do it now than, well, because it's the last season.
Yeah.
We can't have a certain status quo change before the epilogue.
Yeah. Well, I still liked it though. Even though it was going a little fast.
I mean, like, we're talking about, like, the first episode was like, how about Crystal Empire invasion? Spike having to save the Crystal Empire for the third time.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty in keeping.
Yeah.
It actually makes like he actually justified it this. Well, I guess it was sort of justified the second time too, but like
yeah, the second time was super.
No, the first time was a perfectly adequate assist.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing is I hate about the first time. It's like it's not that he didn't do anything, but like the amount he did to the like praise he got, the ratio is not like equal at all.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, I can understand the picture and the mural in the window, just because one, the main six already have like 2 or 3 by that point, and 2, the iconic image that you're gonna wanna, immortalize is the one where things actually went right, and that was the part Spike was around for. But like the when he actually comes back to the Crystal Empire and Cadence is like, hey, guess what? You're a big shot here. You almost have the sense that she knows like what he did do, like what he's capable of and what he's not, and that she, in her Cadence way, just kind of saw an opening to be nice to somebody, to maybe give Spike some of the spotlight that he doesn't get very much. I mean, it's like whenever they have any interaction, you just kind of get the sense that Cadence likes being nice to him, looking out for him.
Okay, that's an interesting look into Cadence's character, being possibly the secret Spike supporter that the Spike fans needed.
Well, I mean, in general, we know that she keeps her eyes open for when she can, well, and the show puts it, spread a little love, but that usually seems to translate to just, lend someone that, helping Hof make their day better, some kind of pick-me-up, like how she teaches Twilight the breathing exercise and the otherwise underwhelming games ponies play.
Games ponies
That's
play
nice.
was awkward. Yeah.
Or how she reads Twilight back in Twilight's Kingdom, where I mean, I'm grateful to see all of you, but like,
yeah. Hey, can I go because like
it's late.
starting to.
It's late in Denmark.
It's totally acceptable, day lover.
Let's just take your final thoughts there before you head out.
Yeah, but I really like these episodes, even though I think like it went a little too fast in the first part. Not to grudge it or anything, but I think like it ended up with the animation and stuff like that, and I like Discord in these 2 episodes. I think like there's definitely something nice going on with this new teamwork with the evil ones. Maybe we will have a evil rainbow of unfriendship, or some other evil ones joining them in the future. Who knows? But I must admit, like I really also like the second part with like Discord making them see the light, quote unquote, and then afterwards being like, oh, okay, yeah, this was for nothing. Actually didn't see that coming. That was funny, yeah. And I still think like it was a test. I know like they said like okay, yeah, it wasn't, but I still know in my mind it was all something that they planned on doing. Yeah, it can't be a mistake. This with yes, Celestia and Twilight, or Celestia going and Twilight have to take over. This have to be something that she have to see that she was prepared for. How to say that? So yeah, but getting Star's World into the things and stuff like that, I had actually a theory about the pillars. Yeah, being a part of the new episodes. So I hope like we'll see more of them in the future. Yeah, maybe giving their experience to the new main six or the young main six, or how to say that. Because eventually the young main six is going to overtake you, the main six places and so forth and so on. Yeah, I think it was really nice episodes. I had fun with it. And I especially like that Applejack also got a little bit more yeah, action. She is still
Netting
my
up the
favorite
ponies and
pony.
such.
Yeah, I like that. And I also really like the visual that Twilight had in her dream state, like evil Celestia and Luna and evil Daybreaker, evil Nightmare Moon with green eyes and everything. That was really something.
Trippy images.
Yeah, and the Sombra thing with like the chains and all of this. I actually think it makes sense for them with like not wanting to do anything against Sombra when they have Flurry Hard. But yeah, again, I'll just move on and let Second take over that and put salt in it. And good night, everybody.
Oh no, the holding the baby hostage makes sense. It's how he got there. That's like, well, we got through that plot point quick enough.
Yeah. But you guys have fun, yeah. Night night.
All right.
Take care. I'm the salty one calling me out.
So, yeah, I'm just really shocked at how everything played out. Like, I mean, I thought they were gonna do like, oh, as of last season, we're gonna really have like this big status quo change. Oh no, forget about it. It was just like,
No, it's the one say we're not forgetting about it because it's established like that's going to happen. It's just not going to happen all at once.
yeah,
Mm.
but like,
No, it does bring.
Yeah.
No, it does raise the question of like, yeah, like how Rainbow Dash brought up, like who's going to sort of like be handling the dream things, because yeah, it sort of makes sense, like say Rarity in conjunction, or just Twilight by herself doing the sun and a moon, like because they're unicorns or alicorn respectively. So I could see one of them or both of them like in some way dealing with that. We haven't. Luna's the only one that's really shown like dream magic, so it's like, what are you going to do about that?
Transfer. Twilight's gonna have Cadence though, so maybe Cadence will have to get a promotion, or probably not, if I'm being honest.
I was thinking about maybe like Fluttershy or Pinkie Pie for dreams.
That's what I was thinking, like Fluttershy or Pinkie Pie, in terms of like actual who would be good at running it, like Pinkie Pie for laughter, Fluttershy for comfort. I would say, but I was just saying in terms of like magical power, because like again, Pinkie and Fluttershy technically don't have any magic, though they could justify that as like because they introduced all those magical artifacts last season. They could say, here's an artifactology to help with dreams or stuff like that.
Perhaps, though. Then again, they were like a creature specific. You know, like different cultures, like.
I'm not saying the last artifacts from last season. I'm just saying like the idea of using some sort of object to power them up, so they could go into dreams.
And then for Celestia's normal duties, we all know Rarity's going to be on top of that.
I honestly thought they were just going to retire from their roles, not from their powers.
That would make some level of sense. Like if they have to be the sun and the moon forever.
Yeah. They're just not going to be the rulers of Equestria.
Well, the thing is, like, yeah, that's one of those things. We'll see how it works out. I have a feeling that the main six, once they take over, will be handling the sun and the moon too, and also the other things. Because, like, especially how Rainbow, like I said, oh, can I be in charge of dreams sort of thing. I have a feeling they will take on those roles. It's just like I have a feeling they're still working, or we still don't know how, or like that's going to be an ongoing plot through the season. So, any other thoughts about this double parter?
I mean, if anyone else wants to go ahead, or like.
I guess we'll never get a villain that outright wants to destroy Equestria now.
Yeah,
we just keep having the ones that want to rule it but not destroy it.
Oh, what do you do when Equestria's gone? Isn't it a bit like saying you want to destroy the world?
Like when it's a competing empire, then you just want to destroy your enemies, and then.
Well, the thing is, you prefer what you want to conquer, not destroy.
Yeah.
It's like
or maybe like an anarchist or something.
Yeah. It's like the Mongols are known for destroying and like being savage pillagers and all that, but they prefer just you surrender your city and just take over that way because it's a lot more valuable for them to inherit a functioning city and not rubble and lots of heads.
Really? It's like that Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series joke. Zork, you finally destroyed the world! Yes, I did. And now what are you going to do? I'm going to Disney World!
Yeah, Zork and Pals. That show is just so 2006. But like, but yeah, I just like after looking at the whole setup of like the setup of Doom with like these villains from season 2, 4, 6 as well, and 8. So basically all the even seasons, because the odd seasons were like, okay, we ended off with no villain for season 1. Season 3 was really more of like the magic MacGuffin of Star Swirl. Season 5 was Starlight, which became redeemed. Season 7 was like about the Pillars going up against the Pony of Shells, which he got redeemed. There's a running pattern with like odd season finales with even season finales, don't you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
All the unredeemables are there.
Boy, well, that'll be interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, well, if they wanted to double down on the redemption thing instead of like, see, we didn't redeem this pony, this would be kind of the time to do it. Like, really. Yeah, once and for all, anyone's soul can be saved. That's why we do this so much.
Yeah, or they're just gonna make off like Team Rocket, like not be redeemed, but like possibly show like different shades of their colors, perhaps. Like no, it's already too late for that. I mean, like except for Chrysalis, which they're trying to make with like a whole comedic villain route with her, but now with like her being a part of like this huge syndicate, we'll probably get serious Chrysalis back again.
Mm-hmm.
And Cozy Glow. Yeah, she's gonna need to like look like someone else if she wants to be able to socially manipulate ponies again.
The evil friendship master.
Meanwhile, at the Temple of Doom.
Now say something nice about centaurs.
So I was just telling like Twilight, like, oh, I'm just helping you color cord like your friendship things, and I'm like, why? Why does she have to be so organized? I mean, that sort of organization schedule will drive anyone crazy. And look at me. I haven't slept a wink during that touring in order to get her good graces. And then like the others are just laughing, like, wow, look at you with like no power, then yet look how much you were able to accomplish. Like Chrysalis is like, oh, well, thanks to like my mentorship with her. It's like, oh, you mentored her, huh? I wonder what happened if I mentored her in something. And then Cozy Glow takes over Equestria thanks to Chrysalis's information about espionage and infiltration. Well, thank you so much. You get this small plot of land. Meanwhile, I have the entirety of Equestria. Well, I deserve 50-50. Deserve 50-50 what? And then she has like legion of armies like surrounding Crystal. Like, never mind. That's how dangerous Cryptic Glow is when you teach her the wrong ways of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's but seriously though, I really want someone to do like sort of like a Yukio Breach-esque like Council of Doom now for like this group now. It already can write itself. And have like sort of like cameos of like some minor antagonists from time to time being like, we're looking for a replacement for King Sombra, so here are like recruits here to like replace Sombra. So we have this lightning dust character. Hey y'all, I'm just here for the total eradication of Rainbow Dash. Not any of the other main six. Nope, just Rainbow Dash. Okay then. We also have Flim and Flam. Yes, it's just a possibility. I mean, why are they here again? They're not destructive. Apparently, there's something about alternate timelines, and they apparently were like the second worst. So that's why they're here. Then they accidentally bring out like the great and powerful Trixie. It's like, it is I, the great and powerful Trixie, here to entertain you, fools. And then it's like, what? Green Chrysalis? It's like, you! It's like Trixie's like scared of Chrysalis while Chrysalis is like bugging at her. Like, what are you doing here? I thought I was here to perform in the show. No, this is the Citadel of Doom. We are here to locate a new replacement for King Sombra to destroy Crusher. It's like, but why did you select her? Well, she has proven to be able to take over Ponyville at least. Really? Oh yeah, back when I was evil, but now I'm good. I'm best friends with Starlight Glim. But Crystal's like, don't you dare mention that Ponyville! I'm sorry again, you like this whole yeah. It's just like I guess like what I'm really trying to say with like going off track about all that was like it's a fun concept for like the series finales are to do this and all those quick events in succession really make this like an action-packed like finale that like for the show that no one thought would get as popular as it did, and this will be satisfying for both like little kids and for the adult audience. So it's not perfect. Definitely Sombra post Crystal Empire is certainly
Well,
testament to that.
just to be clear, like the one thing I hate about this is like how it sort of retcons the comic what they happened to Sombra, because what happened to him was far more interesting in the comic. Both the alternate reality version of him and the our reality version of him. So it's like I hate that, but it's like at the same time, I overall, like I said, this is still one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite opener since season 2.
Let's see if we can get a great finale to match.
Well,
Or I like how some people are hoping that, and it's not just a 2-parter; it's like a 3-parter.
Oh, please. Yes.
big. All right. Well, I mean, I will say this finale, as much as I hate to dig into my... No, I am convinced I am right about this entire direction of the... You don't want to dig too deep into your own head, but I really do feel like this shows in a lot of ways how the direction has become kind of hazy and meandering. Like for the big event, okay, we're going to pull up everything that's on the table and get the payoff to all of it. There, you can kind of see that they're grabbing at a lot of disconnected threads and sort of trying to slam them together. That Twilight is okay. It's now her story one last time because that's what we were supposed to have been doing since the start, or something. So she now is having to overcome her lesson zeroing. We're doing that again, right? Yeah, like really panicky and Ned Flanders, which I don't know that. Well, Okay, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out the note to leave off on that, and okay. I'm gonna stop. Oh, okay. Moving on from that aside, it's not. Twilight is what she is at this point. They've been going down that path for a while. As for the rest of it, yeah, it more comes out in just how the point for most of it is look at what's happening, not look at where we're taking these emotions, these character arcs, character arcs is such a cliche, but I might almost not have a better description for that. These feelings on the status quo. Well, look at where we're taking the status quo, not so much look at where we're taking these feelings on the status quo. And yeah. Cynical me that's become kind of cynical with the last few seasons is really digging in, ready to have problems with that. But still, it isn't fair to downvote something just based on your own speculation. And it is pretty neat to see all of these things and starting to come to pass. It is pretty neat to see Grogar show up, who definitely had the best episode in all of G1. And it is fun to see the villains play off each other. They have great dynamic and such. And heck, even if the worst thing we get is like old-time Disney movie dynamic where the villains are... The show is that the villains be interesting and concoct all of these incredible challenges, and then the heroes uphold their half by taking them down. But like, that's fine. And it also does become pretty strong in the second half, all things considered, with the having to see the main six deal with all of these conflicts, these really personal, heart-heavy loss conflicts, and see Discord make fun of everything, including the tropes that the fans have come to expect by now, and the revelation that he was just fake. I mean, I thought Discord's final monologue was absolutely hilarious there. So, and even the coming together as friends to take Sombra down, which my reading in aside, that was pretty darn epic. So, yeah, as conflict of an opening hook, rising action, climax, outro, it plays itself pretty darn well, and probably well enough to deserve an A. And I guess it cautious me just isn't ready to jump for joy quite yet. And also on the side, I will say, I'm not so sure I like it when the writers comment on what the fans have dug at, have elbowed the show in the ribs for saying, like, oh, the princesses don't do anything. Like, okay, we can make fun of that all we want, and on some level, they're falling back on, okay, it all comes down to Twilight so many times, started to get repetitive, but there is a level on which you got to be able to own the maybe more challenging aspects of the show you wrote, that, okay, the princesses test, well, they did acknowledge that it might have been them passing a test at that point, but yeah, the princesses, the fact that we don't know entirely what their thinking is or what they've got to do, like, you're not supposed to say, nah, it's nothing, they do nothing because that's the plot point, like, so... I like it maybe as much as the other A- openers I've seen, like Princess Twilight or Cutie Map. So A- is a good score. For me. And that's it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so I can see how they're starting to tie up some loose ends, so I'm just waiting to see how they'll do that.
Yeah, I almost wouldn't, I mean, the Punny of Shadows, I don't know if they're just going to let him be a thing that came and went. I would appreciate, bringing him back, because, I mean, when they had him the first time, it felt like we were starting to get at stuff that was only hinted at, like maybe what the nightmare powers that corrupted Luna in the first place were, so, and, what the dark forces of Equestria actually are, how deep they run. So I would appreciate him showing up again, maybe taking that further. But okay, if it has to be, it's Grogar, he's where all the darkness comes from, and that we just forget the Pony of Shadows happened. I mean, we could do worse. Like, Grogar is the final boss. That just simple as that.
I guess any other closing thoughts on this?
I think that's it.
Bliss and Sunko have always been, for one, I will say mixed writers of dialogue, but in general, it's like I always thought that they had some of the best ideas for episodes, like the past several seasons. Any problem I have had or will ever have with them is well counterbalanced by the fact that they insist on bringing ideas to the table, and just like a lot of the time there seems to be something stilted about it, and that's not entirely false here, even though this is definitely one of their best episodes.
As for me, I would just like to say this episode is certainly it's certainly like a great episode, but I'm not so sure if it could reach just like the top 20 yet, because it's just fresh in my mind and just a bit too sugary for my taste.
All right.
I don't know. Take out the Twilight Flander Rising and replace it with something like more compelling from her, and I might have been all the praise with a lot less hesitation.
I mean, Flanderized Twilight is just a big thing that the bronies just eat up. It's just how to make easy consequences instead of going fully in depth of say a pony who idolized a pony for so long. And it's I can't imagine a world without you.
It's returning to the well. It's her most memorable character trait, and it's what makes for a nice go-to note, I guess, to play with her, and it's kind of all they've got left by this point, because Twilight, she really hasn't been the point for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because ever since the turn of the end of season 4, it's focusing on this new villainess, which then becomes the new redemption character to focus on for season 6, and follow that up with talking about pillars and such, and then focusing on the school, and now we're going back to her with all these plot elements surrounding her now.
Kind of sort of season 7 was probably the closest. It had a straight up Twilight episode in there with the Once Upon a Zeppelin, and she her input, her skills that she's gained over time were a major part of the season finale. What she cares about was a part of that. And then season 8 kind of took it back to the 6 direction where, now, you see, because she is done, her progression is done, because that's a thing that happens to people. They're just I feel like I've learned enough. So now she has to, it has to be about something that comes from her, right? A school that she thought was a good idea to create. And Student 6, they're our future.
They're our future.
Well, I mean, and then, for that finale compared to the one before that, they, Twilight spent most of it pretending she wasn't irrelevant. No, see, she's getting out of Tartarus. She's cobbling together a very clever solution that amounts to getting out of Tartarus.
Well, I guess with that said, see y'all. Well, actually, probably tomorrow for a lot of you for Star versus React. But see y'all then.
Yeah,
Interesting
see ya,
start.
guys.
So long.
Okay, this is a quick little review of the beginning of the end. Well, first off, I really like how they are beginning this episode. This was pretty big. This really gave Sombra the, I think, respect that he was overdue for. Sombra was a pretty smart villain, I think, about as smart as you can get, controlling people with their fears and such. But also, okay, little bit of like a cringe seeing like Cozy glow again. But it's funny when she's trying to play therapist. But then you have a villain in. I can't remember the name, the goat. Okay, you have a villain when Tarek, Cozy, and Chrysalis are all kind of looking at each other like, oh my god, this thing's messed up. So, other than that, this is a really good beginning to the final season. So we'll have to see what happens there. But so far, I'm on board.